that you use for your credentials to enter a building. Think how effective it could be if you're wearing your ID badge around your neck, but you've substituted the NAGRA. Then anywhere you're walking, you're digitally recording information and storing it internally inside of that card. And once you leave the premises, you simply download it to a computer or you upload it to the cloud. Makes it just a particular threat to run a download service.
High-tech listening devices can pick up voices, store signals digitally, and transmit that information to a listening post almost anywhere in the world.
Well, the cell phone is really problematic in the world of espionage because, most of the time, you're being tracked. You can be tracked by your cell phone. So it is a real problem from a security standpoint, but it is a real boon as far as using it for spying on other people.
Denied areas are typically places that you're going to be under surveillance or hostile control.
When we're traveling and we're taking everything of importance to us, all of our digital information, our credit cards, our passports now have RFID chips. Protecting that data becomes more difficult. So if you pass through a narrow portal, hypothetically that little tunnel that you walk through before you get to immigration, and you've always wondered why it's so narrow and it looks like an aluminum tunnel that you're walking through. Well, it's very possible that unless your credit cards and passport are in a shielded pouch, all the data has been sucked off. That does not necessarily mean it will be manipulated, but your data has been taken. And the ability to put an RFID chip and hide it on objects or hide it in your clothing is a new piece of surveillance technology.
The benefit of bugging and listening to your enemy is to obtain information that can be used and passed on. But being able to watch their activities is just as important. Intelligence agencies train and employ special teams to perform the role of visual surveillance using handheld optical devices, night vision equipment, and film and video cameras. Cameras may be set up for long-term surveillance or miniaturized for concealment on the spy's body or on their belongings.
One of the things is a pen that has a small camera in it. You can put it in your coat pocket. There are some miniature cameras now you can buy for under $100 that are so small you can place anywhere and Wi-Fi them all over the world. Those are the types of things that we're dealing with today. They lend themselves to a whole new type of spying.
Having the capability to listen in on your adversary's secrets is a key strategy in espionage. But getting an aerial view or eye in the sky is crucial in tracking the movement of targets, military personnel, and weaponry of the enemy.
It's the wish of every person to say, I wish I had that bird's eye view, or I could have my eye in the sky, because then I can see what's happening over the next hill or in the next town. So satellites are today literally an effective eye in the sky. Their weakness, however, is that it's hard and expensive to move satellites. And what's replaced them is now drones. Drones with an extended range, 42 hours. They can hover in place and provide you literally with that mobile eye in the sky that you can deploy, have it anywhere you want, and you're not risking a human pilot. So the modern day drone is probably the ideal eye in the sky for tactical situations.
practical for the job you're doing.
Some advancements in airborne surveillance systems use wide-angle motion imagery, which greatly expands the power that a camera attached to a drone can have, allowing it to track thousands of moving targets at once, both forwards and backwards and across cities. One system, called the Gorgon Stare, is the ultimate eye in the sky. A $15 million military surveillance drone built by the Pentagon, intended to help prevent terrorist attacks. It can zoom in on particular parts of the imagery on the ground while being able to record everything else. More impressive are its resolution capabilities of 1.8 billion pixels, allowing for imagery resolution 150 times more powerful than an iPhone. The existence of secret information gathering programs by the U.S. National Security Agency, leaked by Edward Snowden in 2013, shed light on the reach of surveillance, not just for national security and espionage operations, but on the civilian population. One country that's collecting detailed profiles on all of its citizens by applying recent advances in artificial intelligence and data mining to their surveillance capabilities is China. Along with their robust arsenal of surveillance devices, they've also developed drones that look like real birds. The robotic flock is so lifelike that actual birds fly alongside them while it surveils the surrounding and its citizens. Codenamed Dove by China, the birds are equipped with a camera, GPS antenna, and data link to communicate their findings back to intelligence.
In a case like China, you're seeing them use modern Western-style technology and surveillance-related technologies to basically enact a social credit system within their people. What that really is they're using data to analyze everything about you in terms of who you are, who do you talk to, what are your opinions, what do you blog about, what do you search, what do you like, what do you not like, and that basically assesses a credit score or a risk score to you. An example of how social credit systems have been theorized to be used is if you have a higher credit, you qualify for the best scholarships, the best jobs, you're allowed to travel overseas. If you characterize or you hang out with the wrong folks or you post negative commentary against the regime or the government policies, your credit score takes a hit. And what that means is, in some cases, you can't qualify for certain jobs.
China.
You can't qualify for certain academic institutions or loans. Or in
Yeah,
some
I can
cases,
read that.
restricted
Yeah,
visas
the
where,
credit score should.
when you travel inside the country, let alone abroad. There's a certain bit of 1984 in terms of what you're seeing happening in China. There's a lot of debate to what extent this is being rolled out inside China, but there's no doubt that they are actively using Western developed technologies that can be used for the good causes in terms of benefiting society. They're using it to basically restrict, control, and monitor their people.
As digital technology becomes more widespread, the opportunities for intelligence agencies to gather information grows as well.
Can't go anywhere and do anything without leaving some sort of a trail or some sort of digital dust of who you are and where you've been. Whether it's cookies that correlate back to your search results, whether it's travel patterns based on where you log into the internet or where you carry your smartphone. I mean, who would have thunk 50 years ago that everyone would voluntarily carry with them a beacon that would capture every last bit of their lives? We kind of have that. A cell phone, an Alexa, checking in on social media, that basically creates an overt playbook of what you're doing with your life.
They pose challenges for the collection world. How do you collect this information? How do you filter the wheat from the chaff to get the high-tech information or the high-interest information that you want out of all of this data? It's a very challenging future.
Electronic surveillance gives intelligence agencies insights into what is said, planned, and anticipated by adversaries. But because such huge quantities of communication now travel through the internet, algorithms or other search methods have been developed to process large amounts of collected data to identify specific intelligence objectives like anticipating terrorist attacks and gaining the advantage on the foreign policy plans of adversaries.
One of the things that we have to do within the United States is make sure that all the various parts of the government work together as an integrated team.
So, at the Naval Academy, the motto is Triton Cynthia. Through knowledge, see power. Why would they, through knowledge, intelligence,